As we saw in the last episode, Alex, Rachel, Daniel, and Sam continued their exploration of the Ravenswood mansion. They split into pairs, with Daniel and Rachel searching the upper floors while Sam and Alex explored the basement. In the basement, Alex and Sam discovered old journals and letters revealing the Ravenswood family's curse. They were warned by a chilling whisper to leave or face dire consequences, reuniting in the foyer. They shared their harrowing experiences and realized that the mansion held even darker secrets than they had anticipated.
As we were grouped in the foyer, the mansion's oppressive atmosphere seemed to close in around us. Determined to uncover the truth, we decided to explore further, sticking together this time. We moved cautiously down a long, dimly lit corridor lined with old portraits. The eyes of the painted figures seemed to follow us, adding to the creeping unease. At the end of the hallway, we found a large wooden door, partially ajar. Beyond it lay a grand ballroom, its once elegant decor now shrouded in dust and decay.
"Look at this place,"
Daniel whispered, his voice echoing off the walls.
"It must have been magnificent in its time."
We spread out, examining the room. Sam found a grand piano in the corner, its keys covered in a thick layer of dust. Rachel was drawn to a series of old photographs on the wall, each depicting lavish parties and gatherings from a bygone era.
"Guys, take a look at this,"
Rachel called, pointing to one of the photos. We gathered around her, peering at the faded image. It showed a group of elegantly dressed people, all smiling and enjoying the festivities. But in the background, partially obscured by shadows, was a figure that sent chills down my spine. It was the same shadowy figure we had seen in the mirror.
"What is that?"
Sam asked, her voice trembling. "I don't know," I replied, "but it's been here for a long time." Suddenly, the room grew colder, and a haunting melody began to play from the piano. We turned to see the keys moving on their own, striking a mournful tune. The sound was mesmerizing and terrifying at the same time.
"We need to get out of here,"
Rachel said, backing away. But as we turned to leave, the door slammed shut with a deafening bang. The room plunged into darkness, and a deep, guttural voice filled the air.
"You cannot escape. The curse binds you to this place."
Panic set in as we fumbled for our flashlights. When the beams cut through the darkness, we found ourselves surrounded by ghostly apparitions. They were the guests from the photographs, their eyes hollow and filled with sorrow. One of the apparitions stepped forward, her translucent form shimmering in the light.
"We are the lost souls of Ravenswood,"
she said, her voice echoing with despair.
"Trapped here by the curse, doomed to relive our final moments. You must help us break free."
"How?" I asked, my heart pounding in my chest.
"Find the source of the curse,"
she replied.
"It lies in the heart of the mansion. Only then can we be released."
The apparitions began to fade, their forms dissolving into the shadows. The room grew silent once more, and the oppressive weight lifted slightly. "We have to find the heart of the mansion," I said, determination replacing my fear. "Whatever is keeping these souls trapped, we need to put an end to it." Sam nodded, her face resolute.
"There's probably a central location, maybe a hidden chamber or an old altar. We need to search every inch of this place."
With renewed purpose, we made our way out of the ballroom and back into the labyrinthine corridors of the mansion. The air was thick with tension, and every creak of the floorboards set our nerves on edge. As we turned a corner, we came across a large, ornate door covered in strange symbols. It seemed different from the other doors, almost as if it was pulsating with a dark energy.
"This must be it,"
Daniel said, reaching for the handle. Rachel grabbed his arm.
"Wait, we need to be careful. Who knows what's behind that door?"
Taking a deep breath, I nodded and pushed the door open. The room beyond was vast and circular, with a large, ancient altar at its center. The walls were lined with shelves filled with old books and artifacts, and the air was thick with the smell of burning incense. As we stepped inside, the door slammed shut behind us, sealing us in. The room seemed to come alive, the shadows shifting and swirling around us. "This is it," I said, my voice echoing in the chamber. "This is the heart of the mansion." The altar began to glow with an eerie light, and a figure emerged from the shadows. It was Eleanor Ravenswood, her eyes filled with sorrow and determination.
"You have come far,"
she said, her voice resonating with power, "but the darkness is strong.
To break the curse, you must confront the evil that lies within this altar. Only then can you free the lost souls and yourselves.
As Eleanor's form began to fade, the shadows in the room coalesced into a monstrous shape, its eyes glowing with malevolent intent. "Prepare yourselves," I said, gripping my flashlight tightly. "We're in for a fight." The final confrontation had begun, and the fate of Ravenswood Mansion and our lives hung in the balance.